A foster mother is at risk of losing her child after allegations of abuse. The little girl she had been raising for more than a year suddenly announced that she wanted to return to the orphanage, but was it her own will? Family conflicts, conflicting testimony, and ulterior motives surfaced in the courtroom, questioning the fairness of the guardianship system. Is it possible to punish for one mistake? And are the decisions of child protection services always correct? The court had to deliver a verdict that could make or break one family. Chapter 1. Beginning of the hearing. Los Angeles Federal Court, California. The courtroom is filled with muffled hum. The audience benches are occupied by lawyers, social workers, and several journalists who have come to cover the case. The large clock above the referee's table shows 10 o'clock in the morning. The heavy oak door opens and everyone stands up. Judge Edward Morgan, a gray-tempered man with a penetrating gaze, takes his place behind the rostrum. The court is open. The bailiff's voice echoes through the hall. Case number 23-578, Anna Walker v. Department of Child Protection and Family Services. Your Honor, all parties present. The judge looks around the courtroom, fixing his gaze on the woman sitting at the plaintiff's table. Anna Walker is middle-aged, with tired but determined eyes. She clasped her hands in her lap, trying to hide her excitement. In front of her is a stack of documents, carefully compiled by her lawyer. Miss Walker, the judge finally spoke. You are appealing the decision of the guardianship authorities to terminate your contract as a foster mother. Do you support your claim? The woman swallows, nods briefly, and answers, Yes, Your Honor. I'm here to get my daughter back. Across the room, the department representative, Mrs. Karen Pearson, takes off her glasses and places them on the table. She has been with CPS Child Protective Services for 20 years and has seen many cases like this. Her cold, professional tone contrasts sharply with Anna's trembling voice. Your Honor, we act exclusively in the interests of the child. We received a signal of possible abuse and immediately took appropriate measures. This is standard procedure. The judge raises an eyebrow. The grounds for such a decision will be presented later. But before we continue, I want to make one thing clear. Miss Walker, you claim that your daughter should not have been removed from her family. Why? Anna takes a deep breath. Her fingers grip the edge of the chair. Because it was a wrong decision. They took Lisa from me without a real background check. She didn't want to go. They just destroyed our family because of a false alarm. The judge nods, taking notes in his case. Good. Let's hear the details. The tension in the hall is growing. Anna knows. Today she must convince everyone that Lisa should return to her. But will she have the strength to prove herself right in front of the tough system? Chapter 2. Background of the case. Judge Morgan puts down his pen as he looks over the documents in front of him. Difficult moments of silence make Anna clench her fingers nervously. She knows, now she will have to remember everything from the very beginning. Attorney Mark Blake leans forward, looking at his client. Miss Walker, please tell the court how you became Lisa's adoptive mother. Anna raises her head, inhales, and begins to speak. Her voice is quiet, but there is determination in it. A year ago, in October, I met Lisa for the first time in a children's care center. She was 6 years old and sat in the corner, hugging her old stuffed toy. She hardly spoke. The social worker explained that the girl had a difficult childhood. Her mother is an alcoholic, deprived of parental rights. Father died in prison. She spent most of her life in various foster homes, but was always returned. Everyone said she was problematic. Anna stops, closes her eyes for a second. She remembers the day when she reached out her hand to the child for the first time, and the child recoiled, as if expecting a blow. I knew it would be difficult, continues Anna, but I couldn't let another family give her up. I decided that I would give her a chance at a normal life. CPS Representative Karen Pearson crosses her arms over her chest. She doesn't look convinced. And how was the adaptation of the child in your family? Asks the judge. Anna smiles through the pain of memories. At first it was difficult. She didn't trust me. She didn't know what a hug or care was. She reacted with aggression to ordinary things. Joint lunch, conversations, even simple questions. I worked with a psychologist, went to consultations, read books about children with a traumatic past. I was ready for difficulties. But gradually, she began to open up. She drew me for the first time. She said, "Mom," for the first time, and I thought we were on the right track. But then, Anna falls silent, feeling a lump in her throat preventing her from speaking. Mark Blake interjects, gently asking, "What happened then?" Then everything collapsed. Because of one incident that should not have determined our fate. The judge nods. "Please tell us about this case." The tension in the hall escalates. Everyone understands that the most important thing is ahead. Chapter 3. Testimony of Anna's mother. There is tense silence in the courtroom. Judge Morgan waits while the clerk announces the next witness. The court is called by Joan Walker. An elderly woman stands up from the side. She strides confidently to the witness stand. Joan Walker is Anna's mother, a woman with sharp features and a hard, almost icy gaze. She does not look excited, rather, restrained and steadfast. As she takes her seat, the judge gives her a nod. "Mrs. Walker, you informed the guardianship authorities about possible abuse of your daughter with a foster child. Can you explain why you made this decision?" Joan doesn't hesitate for a second. "Because I knew it would happen. I warned Anna that she was taking on more than she could handle. Raising someone else's child, even with such a difficult history, is not easy. But she didn't listen to me. She thought that love would fix everything. But it's not like that." Her voice is calm, confident, almost instructive. Anna clenches her fists under the table, but remains silent. Her lawyer gives her a warning look, telling her not to get emotional. "Did you personally see how your daughter misbehaved with Lisa?" Mark Blake asks, crossing his arms over his chest. "I've seen enough to know that things are getting out of hand," Joan replies. "Lisa complained to me. She was crying. She said that Anna forces her to do what she does not want. And yes, she herself told me that she was hit." "Miss Walker, what exactly did Lisa tell you?" Judge Morgan interjects, his voice firm but calm. Joan shrugs. "That Anna slapped her. That she makes her sit over textbooks for hours. That Lisa no longer wants to live in this house. Anna can't stand it. She didn't want to study, that's true. But it is not a crime to force a child to do homework." Her voice is full of pain. The judge casts a glance at her, warning of the need to observe order. "Miss Walker," says Blake's attorney, "could you elaborate on why Lisa didn't want to live with Anna? Was she afraid of her?" Joan is a little confused. She purses her lips, then sighs. "She was unhappy, that's all. I don't know if it was fear, but she didn't look happy, and I couldn't just leave it like that." Tension is rising in the courtroom. The judge flips through his notes. "You meant well, Miss Walker, but don't you think your signal might have done more harm than good?" he asks. Joan is silent for a moment, and then he says something that makes Anna cringe. "I did what I thought was right." Chapter 4. Lisa's Testimony. The door at the end of the courtroom opens, and the bailiff escorts the little girl to the witness stand. Lisa looks tense. She squeezes the fingers of her thin hands. Her eyes frantically run around the hall, as if looking for a familiar face. And she finds Anna is sitting at her desk. Her eyes are full of anxiety, but also tenderness. Lisa looks at her for a second and slowly sits down. The judge leans forward, his voice gentle but serious. "Lisa, do you understand that you need to tell the truth here?" The girl nods. Her voice is quiet. "Yes, Your Honor." "Good. Tell us how you lived with your mother Anna. Did you have a good time there?" Lisa lowers her eyes. She is silent for a few seconds and then begins to speak. "Yes, I liked it. She was kind. She read me books before bed, and we baked cookies together, and they drew." Anna's lawyer, Mark Blake, smiles but does not intervene. "Let her speak for herself." "But you told your grandmother that you are not feeling well. Why?" asks the judge. Lisa clenches her hands even tighter. She hesitates. Finally, she quietly admits, I didn't want to do my homework, and Anna's mother forced me. I was angry, and my grandmother said that if I don't want to stay, I can go back to the orphanage. And I said so. But I did not think that they would take me away forever. A heavy silence falls in the hall. Anna covers her mouth with her hand, holding back tears. She knew it, felt it, but to hear it from Lisa's mouth is completely different. You told your grandmother that Anna's mother hit you. Is this true? Asks the judge. Lisa holds her breath. Yes, she slapped me once, on the lips, but then I said a bad word, and then she hugged me. Karen Pearson, a representative of CPS, takes the lead. Lisa, you told our social workers that you were scared, that Anna's mother forced you to do menial work. Lisa looks up at her wide-eyed. Menial work? She looks confused. What are you talking about? That you had to work a lot at home. The girl shakes her head. I just cleaned my room and helped wash the dishes. The judge marks and then asks, Lisa, do you want to go back to Anna's mother? The girl nods and then whispers, Yes, I want to go home. The judge makes eye contact with the CPS. The silence lasts for a few seconds, but it speaks louder than any words. Chapter 5. Judgment. There is tense silence in the courtroom. Lisa is still sitting in the witness stand, her big eyes full of anticipation, but no longer fear. She told the truth, and now we have to wait. Judge Edward Morgan carefully surveys the room, as if assessing the reaction of each person present. He puts his pen on the table and inhales slowly. The court is taking a short break, he finally says. The usher nods and everyone stands as the judge leaves the room. As soon as the door closes behind him, the silence explodes into whispers. Anna lowers her head, her fingers clench on the table. It seems to her that this pause lasts forever. 20 minutes later, the door opens again and the judge returns to his seat. He opens the case, glances over the notes, and finally speaks. I carefully listened to all the testimonies, reviewed the evidence, and took into account the interests of the child. This case is not simple. On the one hand, we have a signal of possible abuse. On the other hand, there is the testimony of the child herself, who wants to return to her adoptive mother. Anna holds her breath. Karen Pearson of CPS keeps her face impenetrable. The guardianship authorities acted in accordance with the procedure, but did not understand the situation deeply enough, continues the judge. Lisa does not show signs of systematic violence. Moreover, her own words indicate that she felt loved and welcome in the Walker family. Pause. The judge glances at Lisa, who is sitting next to the social worker. Therefore, taking into account all the presented materials, the court makes a decision. Return the child to Anna Walker and restore her status as an adoptive mother. A moment of silence, and then Anna's relieved exhalation, tears forming in her eyes. Lisa jumps up, as if not believing what she heard. Mom! She breaks out of her seat and runs to Anna, throwing herself into her arms. The judge taps the gavel. Please maintain order in the hall. Karen Pearson looks down at the papers, her face still, but her shoulders tense a little. She knows that the decision is final. The case is closed, the judge announces. Good luck, Mrs. Walker. Anna holds Lisa close, inhaling her scent, feeling her warmth. She won. But the main thing is not victory in court. The main thing is that her daughter is coming home. And what do you think? Was the judge's verdict fair? Write your thoughts in the comments below the video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next crazier thing.